Hello everyone. So in the last video we studied about the continue keyword and how we can use it in the while loop. So we studied the continue keyword already in for loop scenario. So we just saw or we just had a look how it can be used inside the while loop. In this video we will see how we can use the break keyword inside the while loop. So you know the difference. Continue keyword means it is skipping the particular iteration of the while loop. Break keyword means it is just breaking the keyword. That means it makes sure that we get out of the while loop. That means there are no further iterations of the while loop happen hereafter if we use break keyword. So it will come to the line number 15. Okay, because while loop is from line number 11 to 14, so it will immediately bring this code to program to line number 15, and we will go to 16 and we will again start the while loop. Sorry guys, we will again start the while loop, and then since we restart the while loop, since the while loop is iterating the next time, then again this int and while loop will start. Okay, so this while loop, if we use a break keyword somewhere before these 10 iterations finishing, wherever we see the break keyword, the while loop will be stopped and we will come to the next line. So that's the logic. You know this, right? So let's try to demonstrate or do it with a small example. Okay, sorry guys. So let's assume a person is coming to you and asking you, okay, I have a button, that means I have a push button. Okay, I'm free and I can keep pressing it. Okay, what he says is I'm free and I can keep pressing it. Okay, so he will press the push button. So if he press the push button, or if he keeps pressing the push button, an LED should keep blinking, maybe in a very small time, maybe 200 millisecond delay. It should keep blinking. Okay, and whenever he takes his hand off from the button, the blink should stop. Okay, blink should stop. That means LED should go off. Okay, if you press the button again, if you push the button again, and then LED blink should start until he gets the hand off from the button. Okay, that means whenever he keeps pushing the button, during the time the LED should be blinking with a 200 millisecond delay, and only when he takes his hand off, LED should go off. Okay, so I'm not giving a definition explanation here, but I'm going to develop a code and you can have a look how I do it. Okay, and then you also can try the same method to proceed with your scenario. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to use while loop for the scenario. So anyway, let it be here. So first what I will do is I need a push button, right? So I will write the logic to input read. Okay, because button means digital input, you know it, right? So I'm going to do a digital input read. Okay, so what I will do is I will say, let's say I'm going to take pin number 2. Okay, we are fine. So let's say I'm going to connect pin number 2 to the button. Okay, so I'm going to say pin mode 2 input, and I want to use the pull up scenario. Okay, if you don't understand this, you have to go and watch my videos on the digital input pull up scenarios. Okay, so now we can see that we have set the pin number 2 to digital input pull up. Okay, we don't need the serial pin println anyway. Okay, so we are going to connect our push button to this pin. Okay, so we are good with this. Okay, let's be there. And also I'm going to define the LED as well. Okay, so let's connect the LED. So that we are going to blink an LED, right? So we need to mention in which pin we are connecting the LED, right? So that's what I'm doing it. So I'm going to say, okay, pin mode 7, so output. So let's say, not let's say, but so I'm going to connect the LED to pin number 7. Okay, and the push button to pin number 2. So pin number 2 is the input through button and pin number 7 is the LED output. This is very easy, right? Okay, so now what I will do is I'm going to read the value of the what button. Okay, so I will say int x digital read to. So these things you already know, we studied too much of tutorials on this digital read scenario. Okay, so since this is input pull up, when the button is pressed, okay, when the button is pressed, the x value will be 0. Yes or no? Yes, because it's input pull up. Then when the button is released, that means when the user takes his hand off the button, then the x value is 1. This is so simple, right? This is the logic we know. In the input pull down, this is the other way around. Okay, so you know how input pull up works and what are the outcomes. So all good. So now that means when the user is pressing, x will get the 0 value, and when the user is taking his hand off from this whatever the so-called button, the x will become the other value. What is the other value? 1. Okay, so we cannot have this I is equal to 10 scenario, so this doesn't make sense because we are not going to repeat anything for 10 times now. Okay, so let's keep the while loop empty first. Okay, now what I will do is, now initially what will happen, the user is not pressing the button and nothing will happen. Let's say that means x is 1. Let's say the user is pressing the button, so x becomes 0. Okay, so x becoming 0 is the trigger to start our while loop. Okay, so I will check whether x is 0 or not. That means x becoming 0 is the trigger to get into the while loop. So I mean making the while loop true. Okay, so I will check this condition whether x value is 0 or not. If the x value is 0 means, what does it mean? The switch is pressed. Okay, so that means if this is evaluated to be true, that means switch is pressed. Okay, so that's the first requirement. Okay, when I press the switch, the system should identify that the button is pressed and it should blink. Okay, so I'm going to so let's say he pressed the button and we have this whatever so called x is equal to 0. Okay, logic is true. So what we should do, we should do action. What is the action? The blink is the action. Okay, so I will write the simple minimum code for blinking. Okay, so I will say digital route 7 read, not read, I'm sorry, digital write, digital write 7, I'm sorry guys, again 7 high. Okay, then let's have a 200 millisecond delay, 200. Okay, then again I will say digital write, this is the minimum piece of code to do a blink, isn't it guys? 7. Okay, then again delay 200. Okay, so now what will happen if the switch is pressed? X will become 0. Okay, and we will keep blinking this LED. Okay, this is so true. So this is no problem. What is it? What is the problem here? Here, let's say user presses the button and we read this, so we are good with this, and we never get into the while loop until this x becomes 0. We never get into the while loop. So we will come here, we will do this, we do the line number 8, and if the button is not pressed, we will skip the while loop and we'll go here, and again we will come and read and check whether it is pressed or not. Okay, this is fine. So let's say during a time this is pressed and x becomes 0, then we immediately get into the while loop because this is true, this becomes true. Then what we will do is we are going to do the blink. Yes or no? We are going to do the blink. Okay guys, so I think it's almost 10 minutes, so the rest I will explain in the next video. Just follow me up in the next video guys.